What is up, my Little Deinos? Vepsis, CEO coach of the Helsinki Hydreigons, and we are back for the quarterfinals of the Champions of Galar tournament. And this is gonna be a matchup that I go up against Dr Slaking, someone that I did go up against week 2 this season, and we managed to win 2. Both of us have a slightly different rosters when it comes down to our lower tier stuff. He got himself a Buffalo after dropping, I believe, Oranguru and Trappins, whereas for myself, now I have Gorgeist and Heatmore over Typenor and Appleton respectively. None of these should make too big of a difference when it comes to what happened in a week 2 game, cause none of those mods were brought. For this game I do bring my Gorgeist, which you're gonna be seeing soon, but just as a heads up, as I go into this battle, there might be scenarios that I have to edit my voice toned down throughout the editing. I hope for my future self cases who is editing this video, I don't have to cough too much. Hopefully I don't have to sneeze too much or whatever, but just breaking the fourth wall, I've been sick throughout this past week. A few days after the week 9 battle was uploaded, I think it was like when the upload was on a Saturday, the playoff week started on a Sunday, I got sick on the Monday and Sunday evening, so I've been dealing with the sickness throughout this time, so I haven't really had we have had time to prepare, but when it comes to being healthy and prepare, I haven't had too much time, and I'm playing a pretty risky strategy, which I hope pans out, that I was kind of tucked into, inspired by Aquarius, Sally Mumble, Montai, and Chris. These were 4 people that mentioned to me directly or indirectly to run a Dragon Dance KYUREM that is gonna be our winning condition, and Aquarius mentioned to be a weakness policy set. So that's gonna be the strategy that I have this team based around with. It's pretty risky considering that I had a pretty good team in week 2 battle, but because some of the sets would be very similar for playoff game, if I try to go a similar route, he might be seeing that coming and have a proper way to deal with it. So I went with a route that I have a dedicated winning condition with setup, and you're gonna be seeing that how that team comes together. But if you wanna skip this part of the video, the timestamp should be popping right about now as usual in front of the Serra Aura in itself. And speaking of it, the Serra Aura will be exactly the same item and moveset, except this time around we are running Adamant Nature with it, but the moveset, as a reminder from all the way from week 2, we are running Plasma Fist, Blaze Kick, Close Combat and Blade Off. The Close Combat combined with the Eject Back gives me a momentum because I'm blowing my defensives, and with the item intact, it gives me the initiative to swap out, which last time came pretty crucial, which also was Aquarius' idea back then. So we are going to be using this same strategy. We are Adamant Nature, enough speed to outpace a Jolly Tyranitar at +1 in itself, and I'm not speed creeping a max speed Jolly Crobat. I don't think that will be necessary for a playoff game. I think he will be speed creeping closer to my Jirachi instead, so I should be well in that regard, unless he's whatever reason like max speed Jolly or Scalfer with the Crobat or like Whimsicott or which have you, or the Alakazam in itself. And then the next member of our team is gonna be very similar set as last time, except now we are running Assault Vest size method instead of Rindoberry. I made this to be a pivot for Heatran and Alakazam. I'm hoping the Alakazam won't have Energy Ball because it didn't have it last time. I feel like last time when it was a modest Focus Sash with Psychic, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam and Nasty Plot, it could be very well the same set, but the item could vary now to be a Life Orb instead, because that thing hits very hard versus my team. I was very worried about him going into week 2 that he brings a Life Orb modest Alakazam, because in theory I only had Jirachi with Assault Vest to be dealing with it, but now since he knows I have Assault Vest Jirachi likely bring from the first time around, I feel like he can easily predict that and go for a Shadow Ball on the switching. So I wanted to have something else that can switch into it, and hoping that it won't be the Energy Ball, and this thing with the knockoff can actually kill it with the attack investment I put on it. We are Careful Nature, so the Icy Wind is not there for damage, it's there just to make sure if I need to something to be slowed down, like a Scale Shot, some Dragon Dance or Tadamai's Komodo, or even Alakazam to be slowed down if for whatever reason I'm not clicking knockoff, or more importantly I guess Crobat and Whimsicott. If I want to slow those things down, Icy Wind can help with that, but other than that it's there to be a pivot. And then we are gonna be going through the Dragon Dance KYUREM, which is gonna be running Icicle, Spear, Iron Head, Earth Power, and Dragon Dance. Now this doesn't touch the Rotom Wasp all too well at all, but you're gonna be seeing that I have something on my Jirachi that is gonna help enable KYUREM not to be status while that move is being activated, which is Safeguard. So the Rotom Wasp should not be able to do too much damage to me, and it's gonna be a setup fodder. And he already didn't bring it in week 2 game, so there's a good chance he may not bring it again, considering that I have 3 electric immunities, and I have a Seismitoad and KYUREM that take advantage of the Rotom Wasp normally wise. So there's a good chance it might not come. If it comes, it's gonna be probably toxic on it to wear down Seismitoad. If I have Safeguard on this KYUREM, it's just gonna be supporting this KYUREM. It's gonna be sitting up all over it, which is kind of like the ideal goal. I wanted to have Iron Head because at +3, considering that I have 1 Dragon Dance up and a Weakness Plus he popped off, I will kill max HP Tyranitar with Iron Head, and I do expect it to be potentially a lot bulkier than last time, because it wasn't even like barely HP invested, it was mainly especially defensive. But I caught him off guard last time with a body press on my KYUREM, which I was heavily considering just bring the same set again and just be wary of him being Chopo Berry this time around, and that's gonna affect how I'm gonna be playing around it. But this was pointed out to me that barring a Encore Whimsicott, or me forcing having to go for a +2 versus a Choice Scarf Guardstorm, this thing can literally win the game. And versus the Guardstorm, I have a way to scout for it with my Gourgeist with Frisk to see if it's Choice Scarf or not, if it's gonna appear in the matchup earlier. So I can somewhere be able to intel that if it's gonna be Scarf or not. And like I said, it's gonna be holding the weakness policy. So that's the winning condition that we bank on, and this is going to be the set that is going to be purely dedicated to support that, which is going to be my light clay holding Jirachi with more Iron Head only as attacking move, just in case if I'm in front of like a Tyranitar or Alakazam, if I really need to hit them with. I wanted to have the stab over something like a U-turn or button pass as initiative, and then we have the dual screens to support. And then I have Safeguard. This is gonna be likely luring in the Heatran. Heatran is a very good check to things like my Jirachi or my Togekiss that I brought both last time. And it's gonna be very annoying for me to deal with. Last time that it just wasn't annoying at all because he over-predicted turn 1 and my Seismitoad was able to kill it. I think he's gonna be able to preserve it a lot better this time around. So I'm expecting that to swap into my Jirachi when I bring it in versus something that doesn't deal with me too well. And then I can get up my screens, get the Safeguard, let this thing go down, or if I have something very low, I sack them instead to make sure I have maximum turn of my Safeguarding screens for the KYUREM in itself to win from there. So that's gonna be the ideal goal with it. Then we are gonna be bringing a Talonflame, which is gonna be somewhat speedy, just enough for the Alakazam, Crobat, and Whimsicott that I expected speed to be. And also the Godsop in itself, and then we have Brave Bird, U-turn, Taunt, and Roost with a Flame Body. Last week I definitely regretted not to have Gale Wings, and I hope that won't be the case again, but I wanted to have Flame Body because this thing is very physically bulky to pivot around a Crobat, because now that KYUREM doesn't have Roost, and that was the thing I utilized last time as a Crobat, switching to be able to force it out as well. I wanted to have something else that can come in, and with the Flame Body I can potentially burn the Crobat, which makes it a lot weaker with the Brave Bird, so the only way of really doing damage after that would be the Super Fang in itself. If it's gonna be carrying this time around, there's always a chance he runs now Taunt instead, which I thought he would have had the first time around, but I digress on that. This thing is also having packing the Taunt in itself, because I want to prevent Tyranitar to get up Stealth Rocks, and if it means that my Talonflame has to go down, so be it. I want to keep rocks off my side, and I think Tyranitar is the most likely one to have the Stealth Rocks. Heatran may have those, and that would be annoying if something like Jirachi is luring it in and he gets the Stealth Rocks from there. But my game plan can still work regardless of that. But early on the game I would like to not deal with Stealth Rocks for too many turns. So that's mainly the Talonflame there, because the 2 out of 3 rockers that he mainly uses with like Heatran and Tyranitar mainly lured by Talonflame, so I want to taunt them and prevent those going up in itself. And then the last member of the team, you're noticing I'm not bringing Togekiss versus Dual Dragon team. That's a risk that I'm taking, because I think overall wise, unless the Guardstorm has Fire Blast on it, which I do also have light screen to help with it if the Jurassic screens are still activated for if I've gone for that game plan earlier and it's gone south or for whatever. But basically what I'm trying to say. And then the last member of the team is going to be Gorgeist in itself. This is surprisingly enough here over Togekis, which looked first time to be the first member of my team, and now in a rematch I thought first that yeah, I'm bringing defensive Togekis, I'm facing Garchomp and Komodo. But it's very likely that Garchomp this time around will be having something like a Stone Edge to 2-hit KO my Togekis. Komodo already last time had coverage for it, and if it's gonna be offensive it also 2-hit KOs the Togekis, but there's a chance. There's a chance that neither of them have like special fire moves like Flamethrower or Fire Blast respectively, those dragons, to hit the Gorgeist in itself instead, because he saw that I utilized Togekis as the defensive answer. So hopefully Gorgeist can do the job, because he can take it a lot better if those fire moves aren't there. We also have Colbur Berry on it, so we can take a dark type hit from Tyranitar for example, and Will-O-Wisp, which would be fantastic. We have Moonblast to hit the Komodo a lot harder, and an option to hit the Garchomp as well if it's used its item already and I cannot Poltergeist any longer. So that's basically the team. We have to bank on the KYUREM plan to work out, otherwise I don't really see myself winning. Maybe with the speed control with the Zeraora and Talonflame, if the KYUREM has broken the team down enough. That is kind of like the secondary goal that I have, but I don't expect myself to have a long game like maybe last time with Dr. Slaking. I remember it was a little bit longer game that we would normally have. I expect this to be either fast win for us or a fast loss for us, but I'm okay either way. If we go into semifinals, I'm very proud of that, and then there's always a chance that, well, we are one win away from a championship. If we lose, so be it. When it comes to my real life stuff, being sick over a week, that put me pretty back on my school stuff, so I don't mind necessarily the free time catching up with the school before the remakes comes out. So either way I feel okay whatever happens, but unlike in the regular season games, I definitely want to win this game. There's more in stake now obviously, because this is either you win and you continue your season, or you lose and that's it for the season. So there's a lot more in line, and I'm definitely more invested in this matchup, even if I had less time to prepare for, and I'm still dealing with the sickness. So stay tuned, stay tight. I'm sure this was a little bit longer team builder, but this might be the last one that we have in this season, you never know. So let's go and see how this is gonna be turning out. Alright, here we are with the battle versus Dr. Slaking. It's gonna be nerve-wracking game, but at the same time, if he beats me, I'll be happy for Dr. Slaking. I think he hasn't beaten me yet in a Draft League format, so if he does that, I'll be happy for him. But obviously, we are not coming here to lose, we are here to win with our risky strategy with the KYUREM, if you saw the team builder in itself. But let's jump into it. I have to be a little bit in a quiet tone, because it's very late for me on a Monday evening, and we are one day past the deadline with the battle in itself, but that's due to my own sickness that I'm still dealing with. But hopefully the sickness won't bother me too much, so future me while editing doesn't have to worry about it too much. Okay, he brought the low tier stuff instead. He brought Maractus, Buffalont, Garchomp, Tyranitar. Oh, Heatran I should have noticed before the other ones. And Crobat. Okay, a couple of the low tier stuff. I didn't really expect the Buffalont to come. Interesting to see if that is gonna be offensive or not. Well, what kind of offensive? Like, obviously it's gonna be offensive, but I wonder if it's gonna be like a breaker, or what's the deal with it. Who do I like as a lead? I don't like my Seismitoad this time around as a lead, now seeing the Buffalont and Maractus. I could honestly lead with my Crobat, with my Zeraora. I can utilize the attack back here. Big thing I don't notice Alakazam at all. That's a big deal. That is a big deal to me. Okay, I'll lead with my Zeraora. The goal is still the same with the KYUREM. I think the only thing I have to worry about chipping down is the Buffalont, but I would imagine at least that would be his early breaker, if anything. What kind of coverage you get? You get obviously the headshots, close combat, earthquake. Okay. So that's gonna be interesting. I wanna lead world versus that thing just in case as well. He leads with the Maractus. So I'm gonna just I'm gonna fire punch or place kick this turn 1. Yeah, he's probably going with like a hazard stacking route with this. I could have led with my Talonflame to shut this thing down, but I think I'm okay just place kicking this turn 1. He does stay in, we miss, as he gets some spikes turn 1. Not ideal turn 1, but we go for it again. Not ideal turn 1. Now we do land it. And that is a tiered KO. He goes for the Knocko, which is gonna get rid of my eject back, but that'll be okay. That looks to be the 2-hit KO to me. I don't feel like predicting here, so I'm gonna be going for the place kick again. Spike I can handle cause it's not stealth rocks because of my KYUREM being weakness policy. But I would like not to see both the spike and stealth rocks going up necessarily. So ideally I could get rid of this thing already. He might just let this thing go. Because there... Well, I have a seismitoad. I guess it can come in on that thing still. But there aren't too many things outside of that it can come in on freely. I could see from that damage like how much did I do to this. Maractus. As good friend of ours, Amol, who is French Canadian, he likes to call it Maractus. With his beautiful French Canadian accent, Barney. Who is the T-Tar? This is definitely gonna be a Chocoberry. I fully expect that to be the case. That was a critical hit. I was wondering why did I do so much. So the Maractus looks to be like a physically defensive. Okay, and this Tyranitar with a crit place kick. Yeah, this thing looks to be bulky. If you're Chocoberry, how much am I doing to you? 59 to 71. That's not gonna be killing you. I could use the Seismitoad as a pivot for this, which I probably should be using it for. So I think I'll do that. The worst case scenario is that he uses this opportunity to get up his Stealth Rocks, predicting him to be Chocoberry. But he might just go for the attack knowing that how big of a threat Zeraora is to him. He goes for the Stone, it's okay. Okay. What kind of attack investment that was? I'm at 125 now with Stone Edge. So let's put myself at 88%. So it would be 186.45. Doesn't look too offensively invested to me. I kinda want to just Earthquake this thing. I'm not gonna predict the Crobat coming in, as he gives me damage on this thing. He might go for the Stealth Rocks, but I'd rather get damage on this T-Tar, as he does go for the rocks. So having Defog on Talonflame over the taunt would have been probably better now in a hindsight. But it'll be okay. I just need to make sure that my KYUREM doesn't have to take too much damage with it. I'll just Earthquake again if he preserves this. Or if he doesn't preserve this, rather. He does swap. Goes into Pulp, which is the Maractus. And this won't do all too much. I don't think Icy Wind actually kills this Maractus, so he will be able to get 2 layers of spikes now. So the hazard stacking is definitely being an issue right now. If this is... I don't think I can kill you with Icy Wind if you're max HP, so... I think I have to swap. And just go into my Talonflame. I wish I had like Poison Jab instead, but I had Icy Wind for his dragons. But now we know the T-Tar is pretty low. This is at 31%. Tyranitar had Stealth Rocks and Stone Edge. Ideally I don't see Spike going up, but there's probably a very good chance he will get those up, yeah. This is where I wish I had Defog, but... Okay, the sand does go away. Does my U-turn kill this Maractus? It doesn't. I would have to Brave Bird first. But Brave Bird into U-turn might kill the Tyranitar, so... Let's go for the Brave Bird. If the Heatran is not really offensive, I think I can still take one hit from it. Yeah, here comes the Heatran. I wonder if I see leftovers from it. Or if it's gonna be like a power-up Solar Beam. We do decent chunk to it. We take the recall. And it's leftovers. I'm quite confident this is Toxic Protect yet again with dual stab. So we're gonna taunt this. We're gonna taunt. I feel like I should see the Toxic. Yeah, this is the same set as last time. So it's leftovers and Toxic. Which is good for me to know that it's this, because then it's more likely that my KYUREM can set up on this thing. Who do I want to swap into on this? Like, I only have Seismitoad to pivot on it, so I guess that would have to be it. So we just go for the U-turn. We go for the U-turn, we go into our Seismitoad, which will be granted pretty low now. Because the Spikes and Stealth Rocks and Magma Storm coming into my way, but... Seeing that there's no Alakazam, I'm okay seeing this going down if I need to pivot on this Heatran, cause the Heatran doesn't seem to be offensive. But we're gonna be taking quite a bit of damage with this. There's the Magma Storm, he lands it. I would imagine because he has Protect, he will go for it. So... I think Earthquake into Icy Wind finishes the Maractus, so... He should not be able to get another Lay of Spike with that. Like, EQ into Icy Wind should kill you, right? That's getting close with leftovers. That's getting close. Maybe I should have knocked off instead. But we Icy Wind now. Please kill this Seismitoad with the Icy Wind. That would be ideal. Oh my god, it lives in a slimmer... Imagine if I landed the Blaze Kick first time around and he goes for a Synthesis. Yeah, this is not looking ideal. So I need the Buffalon still to be weakened for my KYUREM to win, so I cannot like dedicate it right now yet to be able to do that. So I have to go into my Talonflame. He's gonna get up a third Lay of Spike, so I really need to come into my... Not that I already was, but... This Maractus should only have one Lay of Spike up, because the Blaze Kick... Okay, he wants this thing back at full health for this Aurora, fair enough. fair enough. I could predict the Hydreigon, but realistically... I think I just want to damage it for Earth Power, so I think I'll still Brave Bird regardless. As he withdraws. We see Barney instead. This should die to the following hits of Brave Bird into U-turn. Like, there's no way that's not in range. So I'll go for the U-turn here. And then I have to decide that who am I most... Okay, he does withdraw now again. And now he goes into Hydreigon. In what range does Buffalo... Does Buffalo actually die if I'm at like +3? There's a chance, but I would like to have maybe a little bit damage if it's max HP. I could go into my Serra Aura just to close combat. I would risk to be burnt, which is not ideal. But I think I have to do that. I could try to go for the current plan right now and bank on my Serra Aura winning the late game. And I think I'll change that plan. This is gonna look very weird for him, but... that I go into Jirachi of all things. But I think now either KYUREM can win outright or it's gonna be able to break down his things to the point that my Serra Aura can win late game. The Guardsomb I would have to worry about being Choice Scarf, but I think this is where we dedicate ourselves to go for this route. We go for the light screen. He's faster than me, that's not good. So I cannot get all the screens up. Yeah, I'm only getting the light screen up. Okay. We get up the light screen. I guess the benefit here is that... which one is most important if he gives me this? Reflect or Safeguard? I feel like Safeguard is most important if he gives me this. I don't think he even gives me this. He might just attack me. Yeah, he's gonna land another one. Kinda wish he would have missed one of these, cause the Blaze Kick happened to miss as well. But this might be one of these games that going into this, it just wasn't meant to be, but... we just go into KYUREM and hope for the best. Which is not really the position that I wanted to be, because I felt actually a little bit more confident than I'm doing right now that this plan could have worked out. But now I'm not all too sure. And then for what it's worth, he could be Choice Scarf Guardsomb and I'm not getting more kills with this thing. And this thing is still at full health. So he would have to activate my weakness pose in order this to work. He just withdraws instead. Goes into Barney. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this plan, the Dragon Dance KYUREM plan wasn't gonna work out. Maybe I should have... I'm regretting things now in a hindsight. Maybe I should have stuck with the Organo plan. In a hindsight, I should have considered having hazard control. But I'm not gonna be revealing my Iron Head. I'm gonna be going for the Icicle Spear. But I'm definitely not feeling confident that I can win this game, but you never know. Okay, we get one hit crit on there. Okay. You have light screen up, but if there's a Scarf Guardsomb, it's gonna revenge kill me right now. Buffalon is probably gonna break me right away. And there's the Buffalon. And I cannot swap into this because all the hazards being up, so I just have to commit and go for this. So let's go for the damage as much as we can. Maybe I should have tried to get the Jirachi versus something else and try, like, versus the Maractus. Like, maybe I was too keen on that Jirachi outpace this and it would allow me to get the weakness policy up. But, like, in a hindsight, I should have known also that when I bring KYUREM like this after Jirachi goes down, obviously something is up. So, this was just very bad planning. Which I got talked into and people really convinced that it could be a good idea, but I get a crit. But 2 hits. Now we're gonna obviously die to this, right? Yeah. So yeah, this is definitely not... Maybe this Aurora can still win. Maybe there's a world that Aurora can win this. But I cannot bring it in too often cause the all the hazards. So we go into Talonflame. Honestly, I should have just stuck with my guns with bring the... I had a physical Nidoking in mind, which would have looked fantastic in this matchup. But oh well. Such is life in Draft League, you don't always can get these plans right, and sometimes maybe overthinking bringing a similar team is just overthinking when you know it's a good enough team already from the first time around with just minor changing. But at least the Buffalon goes down, the Tietar is down. Sorry that I'm a little bit like low on my chances, but I just don't see this winning. KYUREM was supposed to do way more in order for me to feel more confident about this. He goes straight into Godsomp. Straight into it. Is this setup? I could go into my Gourgeist, prevent this to die to this. Or I can go for a taunt. There's no way he's Scarf with this, right? Let me taunt this. He may attack me straight out, but I wanna prevent setup cause the Gourgeist won't live hit otherwise. Scale shot, okay. Don't get too many hits, I didn't get too many Icicle Grasses either. Yeah, that's more like it. He is +1 speed though. So I have to sack Seismitoad here on the hazard entry. And then I swap into Gourgeist. And then I get to see what item he is. I expect like Lumberry or something. Or Rosary Berry. Rosary Berry makes most sense to me. Which I mentioned like in week 2 battle that he should have been that set. Or should have been, like, what? Who am I to tell what people should be running? I meant to say it in a way that I thought that was the most threatening set to me. Let's word it in a proper manner. We take a lot of the hazard damage. We see your item. It's Expert Belt. So this could be Fire Blast and then I'm Gonzo or Alonso. So I need Poltergeist damage on you. Regardless, getting damage something like a Heatran is very crucial. He's gonna preserve and go into Heatran, that's his proper play. Like maybe this plan could have worked a little bit better if I just had Defog over Taunt. Maybe that could have done it. Talonflame in theory can still kinda win. I need damage on Godsomp in order to do that to happen. There's a chance that the Crobat outpaces my Gourgeist. I think I have to bank on Talonflame late game, that let this thing go down, get Zeraora in, let him get the kill. I don't think I can swap too much. Maybe he finally misses a Magma Storm. Maybe he misses. He doesn't miss. He doesn't miss. Which again I'm only upset at that about cause I missed my turn 1 move with the Maractus, and seeing how many spikes there have been going up and the fact that it's still around is mainly that I worrisome. There's no guarantees he would have just let it die already on that bike's second turn. There's a good chance he would have just swapped. But yeah. It's definitely, I can definitely like take a lesson from this that I should, even how predictable the first team would have been, I should have just stick with it and just modified it a little bit, because my first team was very good. Just minor changes that I had ideas of doing would have done it for me. That's almost dead. That is almost dead. This is dope. He does miss. Which is even greater. It does miss now, so this might be enough for me to do it for me. I think Plasma Fist doesn't activate the Flame Body, so I'm gonna go for that move, because I feel like this is heat proof. This is Flame Body, not heat proof. I think Flame Body shouldn't activate through that, right? Okay. When you finish off this, but I think the Talonflame dies to a recall once I have to attack the Godson because the Rough Skin. So I think the Godson will finish this off. But it's gonna be like a 2-0 loss, I think. Depending what happens. There's a chance if he misses a move and I go for a Roost with Talonflame, there might be a chance then. But it's gonna have Rock Move to hit me with. I definitely die. Okay. Okay. Never mind. Spoon-fed? Are we spoon-fed? Potentially. I didn't take Rough Skin either. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I've been down all this time. Wait. Oh, I got excited for a second. You noticed I got excited for a second because there would have been a chance if I land that play rough. Oh my god. There was a chance if that play rough did land again. Wow. You got excited for a second because if I landed that, I think I could have gotten this still. Crazy. Crazy game. I have to hope for him to miss a couple of times, so I have to go for my best play, which is Roost. But he's probably gonna go most accurate move at this point. He goes for the Scale Shot, they should. The first one didn't even kill me, but great game to Dr. Slaking. I'm happy for him because this is the first ever time he gets to beat me. So I will be congratulating right after recording in Discord, because I know this probably will mean a lot to him, because I know he's been a long time coming trying to get this one. My excuses, I'll try to use this because it never feels good to say now after a loss to come up with excuses why you lost. But maybe going so all out with a one plan only because it's a rematch definitely was a mistake from my behalf. Granted, the team could have done it if I had defog on Talonflame, so it wasn't all for nothing and it was a terrible build. So there is like way to defend this. Missing the place kick turn 1 definitely made it unfortunate because there were so many spikes going off afterwards. Granted, if I landed that play rough afterwards, I had a chance to win, but it only happened because I missed, or he missed his Scale Shot before that. But I definitely could have had a better, I think I could have had a good chance to win this if I had my original team with Nidoking. Well, not Nidoking necessary on it. Maybe Nidoking would have not. Maybe. There were definitely teams that I thought about bringing the same 6. There was a thought of bringing the same 5, except swap the Togekiss for a Gourgeist. There was a thought of bringing basically this 6 as well, but very much so having the similar KYUREM set as last time. And had a Talonflame that still should have maybe had a defog on it over Taunt in itself. But I chose that set, that's on me in itself. But thank you all for supporting this season. Unfortunately, our trip to throughout the playoffs was very short. Maybe seeing how my games were going at the end of the season, maybe this was like easy to predict, long time coming. And considering the background that I've been sick for past 7 days, also kind of made an influence. But I don't want to take away from Dr. Slaking. He's always been a really good battler. Last time he was very close of doing it. My check back bailed me out at the end, even though I knew that that was an option for me to utilize that at the end. Back then he was very close of doing it, so I'm happy for him. He gets to go into the semifinals. Make sure to check him out. He's genuinely one of the funniest people and the nicest people in the Wi-Fi community. I don't think there's any people that can really compete with him in that regard. He is genuinely one of the nicest people, and to me the funniest commentator in a Wi-Fi since journey. So you definitely want to check him out. I'm gonna be a little bit sad how I performed this season. I expected more out of myself. I'm sure most of you did expect more out of myself. I definitely saw myself in a semi-final game, at very least. So coming short on that definitely is disappointing for me. But I digress. I learned from this. I have to trust my gut going onwards like I always do. And also recognize the mistakes that I did in this build going forwards. But we learn from that. This will not be the end. I will be coming back. I don't know what league is gonna be next waiting for me. The remakes of Gen 4 games, the Shining Pearl or whatever games, those are coming in 2 weeks as I'm recording this. Those are very close coming out as you're gonna be seeing these videos. So I don't know what's there to wait for us. I hope to see myself still being in a Draft League community. Hopefully nothing goes wrong when the remakes comes out, but we have to wait and see. I don't expect this to be the end, but I don't know what league is gonna be next that I'm gonna be part of, or what is gonna be my next upload after this. So in that sense it's also a little bit sad. I was viewing myself to go longer, but thank you for watching. Thank you for support so much. Either you're a new watcher or you a long time subscriber of mine. Thank you that you have come back and supported me after my hiatus throughout the summer. I was genuinely surprised at how many people still came immediately to see my content after being so long away. So hopefully the time will come that we are coming, that I come back sooner than later for Wi-Fi scene and battling. I do enjoy it still very much, and hopefully at that time around we're gonna be making deeper run in playoffs, and circumstances will not be as awful for me as it was right now going to this week. But enough rambling from my end as the screen is going dark. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check out my opponent and all the rest of the quarterfinal battles, and I'm gonna be see you guys later.